Hello, welcome back to Rev Endurance Sports, and today we're going to do an unboxing, but we're going to do something very different than what usually happens on this channel. As many of you know, I am a Shimano fanboy, and I wear that title proudly. But I've often said, if Campagnolo is the only game in town when it comes to rim brakes, I will convert over. But not just yet. But I am building a beautiful bike for a customer. So I am building a Ritchie Road Logic for a customer, and we are going to build it with Campagnolo record / super record / EE brakes / DT Swiss. But we're going to get into all that. But a little bit of history first. The reason we're doing this is because this is kind of one of those forever bikes for this customer. And so he just wants to build it with high quality stuff. It's a YOLO bike. You only live once. And he also wants to future-proof his purchase. And what I mean by that is, you know, Shimano, it's very hard to find shifters. It's very hard to find, you know, on the durace level, right? Because remember, we're building a YOLO bike. So that the top end stuff, that's all now, it's no longer mechanical, it's electronic or it's disc brake, right? So we don't have this replacement parts for a few years from now. You might be able to just find a lot of used stuff, but that's about it. And the good thing about Campagnolo, and we had this long discussion, but the good thing about Campagnolo is they typically will have all these little parts and these, you know, the internals for the shifters, or, you know, one cog for the cassette, or you know, a lock ring or something that you can find 10 years later, right? And I have, you know, 3 vendors that I get Campagnolo from. Oh, you folks didn't know that, but yes, I get Campagnolo from 3 different vendors, maybe even a 4th actually. But one of them has a lot of new old stock. They have stuff from 9-speed, 10-speed, and this group set is going to be a 12-speed group set. Okay, so let's do, so now that we've had the history and the reason why I'm building a Campagnolo bike, let's go through some of the stuff. So first things first, every time that I opened up one of these boxes, I was so impressed with just how pretty everything was. I've gotten so used to the, you know, Shimano Japanese stuff, but this stuff has always been very, very pretty. So there are the shifters, and I want to do this without them falling out. So there are the 12-speed shifters. Let's see if I can do this without that falling out of the box. Okay, so there's that. And I love that it already has a protective sleeve on it. You've seen on some of my other videos, like what's in our stand today, these are like little maintenance tips. I put some tape, something over the cranksets, because when you're working through that front derailleur trying to dial it in, sometimes it throws the chain up and over. So I like that that's already on there. And here is the non-drive side crank arm. And then now you can see, hopefully you can see that through the packaging. I don't want to take any of this stuff off just yet until I'm ready to start the build on the bike. All right, so there's the crank set. Of course, the chain. And I think many of you have seen these before, but there it is. your chain, and then let me see if I can get that. Yeah, you can't see it through the bag, but there's that. The bottom bracket, this one I can just peel off the packaging. Oh, no, it's vacuum packed, or not vacuum packed, but it's sealed. And like I said, I don't want to tear anything up yet because I'm not ready to build a bike yet. I've got a couple other things that I want to get in and out before I can set this bike up on the rack and then not take it off until I finish building it. Because I've also got, you know, the regular daily maintenance stuff that comes through. And look how beautiful this cassette is. This is a super record cassette because we needed to get 1132. I'm sorry, 1134, I believe. Let me check. I can't remember, but we deliberated over this spec over and over and over again. So I know that I ordered the correct thing. Confirmed, 1134. And the only way to get 1134 was to go to the super record. So Campagnolo used to be a lot prettier. You know, I think a lot of you folks might prefer the silver finish Campagnolo. Everything just went black for all the manufacturers. And I really do like the silver finish a lot better on components, but unfortunately that has given way. You know, for example, here's the front derailleur, same thing, right? It has that black finish instead of a silver finish. So, you know, I'm sure a lot of you folks that are some of my older school Campagnolo folks, I'm sure that you probably favor the silver finish. So we have, oh, and the crankset's a 165. We were looking at, okay, which crank length do we want? We initially started this quote on a super record group set, but we ended on the record group set. And like I said, some things you have to get the super record for that particular component. And then I've already done the unboxing before, but we've also got the EE brakes for this build. Now, I know some of you love to say that phrase, full Campy record. But the problem with rim brake calipers for record and super record is the vendor told me, you know, 28 is max. 28 tire capacity is max. So we're going to build the bike with 30 mil, and we want some space. And with an EE brake, you get the 30 mil with space. But you could also put a 32 in there if your heart so desires. The 2025, they spec 30 mil, and it always will depend on your tire and rim, which is another thing. So we built custom wheels for this customer, and I'll do that in a separate video so this one doesn't get too long. But we built some DT Swiss hubs, CX-ray, Sapim CX-ray spokes, and the head rim because I wanted a 21 internal with a 25 external. So that's going to be a different video. But with that rim combination, the customer can run easily a 30 inside the EE brakes. But if he chooses to, he could even run a 32. Because on my Sally Macaroons, I can run a 32 tire in there. Fork and chain stays, seat stays. So some of you have noticed and watched the video. Thank you very much. that I rebuilt my gray Ritchie. My gray Ritchie comfortably, well, for me to be comfortable, the max I put on that is 30 mil tires with that 21 internal, 25 external rim. And I rode that the last half of the Brevet series in 2023. So the 400K, the 600K, and then I did PBP, the 1200K, Paris-Brest-Paris, with a 30 tire in the gray Ritchie frame, which is, you know, from like 2014. So you can fit a 30 tire in there. That one was spec'd for 28. Okay, so I believe I've hit all the high points. You know, shifters, we swapped out the brakes for the tire clearance, the front and rear derailleur, the crankset, bottom bracket, and chain. So yeah, we're gonna build a campy bike. So stay tuned, folks. I know a lot of you, and you know who you are. You're always banging on about campy this and campy that. So you're gonna get your wish. I'm gonna build you, or you can live vicariously through this customer. I'm going to build you a campy bike. Okay, that is all for today. Please hit that subscribe button. Love to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of summer. It is now March 25. So March 25th, we got April, May, June, July, August, September. I guess fall starts somewhere September, October, I forget when we do that. But please like and subscribe, hit that notification bell. A lot more videos coming. I've got the wheel set that I need to talk about as well. So yeah, stay tuned. All right, please like and subscribe. We'll see you up the road.